Hey folks, Wally DM here, and today our adventuring party is trying to get through a door, and the key to get through that door is going to be in one of 4 alcoves that are along the side of it. Now if they pick the wrong key, there's going to be a bad effect, and then all of the keys are going to scramble and they'll have to try to pick the correct key again. But there is a way to find out which key fits the door, and that's going to be with the 4 wands that are with it. Now today's puzzle is going to come from the Game Master's book of Traps, Puzzles, and Dungeons, and this one's called Wands and Keys. Your way is blocked by a massive door with a heavy lock. Around the door are small cube-shaped alcoves blocked with wavering barriers of magical energy. Inside each you can see an identical gold key. Beneath each alcove sits a wand resting on 2 hooks. A glowing rune is marked in the stone by each alcove, and the word open is written above them in common. So the setup for our puzzle looks very similar to this. Our adventuring party comes in, they need to go through this door, and to the right of this door are going to be 4 different alcoves. Each alcove has a key in it, and it has a rune, and the characters can come up, they can press the rune, and if they do so, that's going to open this, and the magical barrier is going to disappear. They can then reach in and grab the key. However, only one of the 4 keys are correct, so something may happen if they grab the incorrect key. Now there are 4 different possibilities with this. They could grab the correct key, open the door, and continue on their way. They could grab a key that is a mimic, and once they remove it from the alcove, it's going to bite them and do damage. They could reach in and remove a construct key that is set to explode if it's removed from the alcove. And they could reach in and not be able to grasp the key because it's an illusion. Now, if the characters try to remove the illusion key, the mimic key, or the explosive key after the effect happens, then all 4 of these keys are going to disappear, and then they're going to reappear. And what has actually happened is all 4 of these keys have shuffled and now reside in different alcoves. So for example, if you remove the mimic key, it is going to attack and bite whoever removes it, and after that happens, it's going to dissipate, and it's going to reappear shuffled and back in one of these alcoves. If we try to open this 3rd one again, there's only a 1 in 4 chance that that will once again be the mimic key. So with that in mind, let's take a look at our wands, because we have 4 magic wands, and it doesn't say so in the book, but I would recommend labeling each of these wands just so that we don't have to go through the trial and error process. Now I'm displaying 4 wands, and each of these are a different color: blue, green, yellow, and red, but the wands in the puzzle do not need to be a color. I'm only doing this to better show and demonstrate how to run the puzzle. So for the purpose of demonstrating this puzzle, the blue wand is going to cast Mage Hand, the green wand is going to do a point of poison damage, the yellow wand will do 1 point of acid damage, and the red wand is going to provide a bright light. Now as far as the wands are concerned, they're only going to work in this room. Once they leave this room, they're not going to have any magical effect. Their only purpose is to be able to help detect which of these 4 keys is the correct key to unlock the door. And before the characters open an alcove, they can use these wands, and these wands will actually have a magical effect that can go through this magical barrier. The Mage Hand wand can be used to grab the key while it's inside the alcove and twist it around and turn it. The Poison wand and the Acid wand can be used to do a point of damage to the key, and the Light wand can be used to shine light inside the alcove. Now, if the characters do decide to cast a Detect Magic, then I would say that an Abjuration aura is going to shine brightly in this entire area. So now our characters can go trial and error and hopefully get that 1 in 4 chance that they can open one alcove, reach in and grab the correct key. However, there is an easier way to do that. They can use the wands and they can figure out which one of the correct keys is without going through this process. With all of the information that's been given, do you know how to solve the puzzle? I'll give you a second if you'd like to figure it out. Did you get it? Great. Let's go over the answer. So let's remember that we do have 4 keys, and every time the incorrect key is taken out of the alcove, there's going to be an effect, and then all 4 of the keys are going to shuffle and relocate to different alcoves. So for example, alcove 1 could be the illusion key, and on our first attempt we're unable to grasp it. All of the keys are going to shuffle, and then maybe on the second attempt that is the correct key, and we could open it, grab the key, open the door, and be on our way. But let's take a look and see how this puzzle is solved with the wands. So we're going to take the Mage Hand wand first, and the Mage Hand wand is going to have a different effect on all 4 of the keys. So for the purpose of explaining how this works, let's say that alcove 1 is going to be the illusion, alcove 2 will be the mimic, alcove 3 will be the explosive construct, and alcove 4 will be the correct key. If we take the Mage Hand wand and we utilize it for the first alcove, that is the illusion key, and the Mage Hand is going to pass right through the illusion. For alcoves 2, 3, and 4, the mimic, explosive, and the correct key, the Mage Hand will work the same. It'll be able to pick up the key and spin it around and look at it. So the Mage Hand wand is really going to help us detect the illusion key. For the poison wand, if we use it to shoot 1 point of poison damage at the illusion key, it's going to go right through it. If we shoot 1 point of poison damage at the explosive construct or the correct key, then each of these keys are not going to be affected because they're going to be immune to poison. If we use the poison wand to shoot 1 point of damage to the mimic key, however, it's going to snarl, it's going to get angry, it's probably going to jump up and bang its pseudopod little tiny fists on the magical barrier trying to get at whoever's shooting the poison damage at it and things of that nature. Now while it can't be destroyed, it's still going to reveal that, so the poison wand is a good one to reveal the mimic key. Now with the acid wand, again, the 1 point will go right through the illusion key, and the mimic and the correct key are both immune to acid, so they are not going to have any reaction. It's just going to be non-effective on those 2 keys. However, if the acid wand is used to shoot 1 point of acid damage into the alcove with the explosive construct, then it is going to reveal itself. Now the book doesn't say how it will reveal itself, and I'll leave that up to you. Leave a comment below. How would an explosive construct key reveal itself in this way, in a way that's different than the mimic key? I could probably see maybe the acid damage reveals like a timer or a countdown or some type of fuse or something along those lines. So the acid key is going to be very helpful in finding and detecting the exploding construct key. The 4th wand we're going to use is the wand that produces light. So we can illuminate the alcoves to get a better look. So if we illuminate alcoves 2, 3, and 4 with these keys that are in here, they're going to be able to look around and everything's going to seem to be normal. There's going to be a slight shadow, however you move the light around. However, if you use this illumination where the illusion key is, then on a DC 15 Wisdom Perception check, you're going to be able to detect that this key is unlike the others, and in fact, you're not going to be able to see the shadow move around like you did with the other keys. So the light wand is also going to be good for detecting the illusion key. So remember that as long as the magical barrier is protecting all 4 of the alcoves, then the keys are going to remain in place and the characters can use the 4 wands to be able to manipulate the keys and to see how they react to each of those effects. Once they've decided the correct key and where it's at, they can hit this rune and open this, and when they do so, they're going to be able to remove the key from the alcove, and then they're going to be able to use it on the door, unlock it, and continue on with their adventure. Now some final reminders, tips, and recommendations if you're going to run this puzzle in your game is that each of the alcoves have a magical barrier in front of it and only one of them can be open at a time. Once a key has been interacted with it, if it is a correct key then they can go on their way, but if it's the incorrect key then all of the magical barriers are going to reseal and the keys are going to be shuffled and put into a random order. And with this in mind, I would recommend a pen and paper and keep track of the location of each of the keys. Now with regards to the wands, the book states that they do not function if they're more than 30 feet away from the door, but if you want to give these to your players as magic items, I don't think that there's going to be any harm to it. A magic wand that does a mage hand or a light spell or 1 point of poison or acid damage isn't too overpowered. And finally, we did mention that the poison and the acid key can both do a point of damage. So I would recommend that after 3 points of damage given to either the mimic key or the explosive construct key, then the magical barriers are going to go back in place and all the keys are going to shuffle up and we're going to reset the puzzle. So that's all I have for you today. What did you think of the puzzle? Is it something that you would use in your game? And if so, what would you do differently? And do you have Traps, Puzzles, and Dungeons, the Game Master's Guide? And if so, is there a puzzle or trap that you'd like to see next? Thank you very much for watching, and on to the next.